You're making one right decision today. You're listening to Handcuffs and Sage.
Three badass moms bringing you all the true crime and paranormal your heart desires.
I'm Red.
I'm Timo.
I'm Dre. And don't let your kids listen. Seriously, just don't.
Hey, it's Handcuffs and Sage.
Hey!
Woo!
Hey guys, back again.
This is Red.
Timo here.
Dre!
This is Rock.
Hey guys.
First of all, we're obviously not professional, and that's the way I like it.
And we're zooming.
Oh my gosh, we're having the best time. How was your week, everybody? How was your week?
For me it was cash, but all you guys had like major shit going on, so like graduations left and right.
Yeah.
We got the graduations, we got the work stuff. What else do we have? I guess
I've been hearing lots of horns through the neighborhood lately.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear the processions from blocks away.
Yeah, it's
that's
like
really
a whole
cute.
new like thing, and it's so bizarre that everyone's celebrating it up. It's like we're not letting the 2020 grads down. We're like totally like we thought of different ways to like celebrate and make them happy and celebrate.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that the other day, and like, okay, say shit hits the fan and the world is falling off its axis. Like, the human race is so neat. Like, if we're all dying together, we're gonna find a way to be entertained. Like, it doesn't matter how bad the situation gets. If everybody's experiencing it together, you're like, okay, let's drive around and do a car parade. And like, you see kids laughing and people honking their horn and blasting music, and I'm like, they're almost having just as much fun as when you go to an amusement park. Plus or minus a few funnel cones, but like, it's just funny how we adapt and like, okay, yeah, we got a pandemic. We're still gonna have fun. Like, here we are on a video podcast, and it's just it's kind of neat.
It
You
is.
know what I love? You know what I love is I have all my guests that I help at work. They're like in their 70s, 80s, right? And they always remind me of what's really important and not to sweat it. And I really need to take that to heart better.
What's that? The buffet line? Oh,
No.
sorry. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. Those are actually gone, I think, right? No more
Getting your
buffet
nails
lines.
done.
No, we'll
I'm
still
just kidding.
have different ways to handle a buffet situation. They just have good perspective about what's important and not to stress about anything else. And it's really about family, and that, in their lifetime, there's been lots of ups and downs, right? So when you get to that point in life, this ain't no thing, right?
Yeah.
And so it really is nice to have them be like, oh, it's all good. No big deal.
Right.
And I need to do that more. Just chill, baby. I'm almost done with my paint by numbers.
Wait, you're doing a paint by numbers?
Why didn't you tell us this?
I didn't know that.
Oh,
I thought I told y'all.
No,
Oh my gosh.
I'm doing a paint thing too. It's not by numbers, no. Numbers though. It's one of those, like, it's a canvas that's for coloring, but I'm painting it like on my own. I'll post some pictures tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll show you.
ooh.
It's been therapy for me, dude. I just like sit for like 3 hours and just zone out and paint, and like I'm so zen, and like so it's like
Exactly.
it's helping me so much. Like,
It's
mentally.
so relaxing because you
It
don't
is.
think about anything else. It's paint by numbers, right?
Mhm.
You just do what the numbers are.
Yep.
And I think it's really helped the last
It
week
is.
or so. Just be
Good.
calm. Don't think. Chill. The hubby doesn't like it that I do it at night because he wants attention. But I don't have time. That's my time. We'll have to work it out. We're just
I have a
scheduling, I guess.
2000. I have a 2,000 piece puzzle sitting on my countertop on my island. It's been there
Oh,
for 3
dang.
months. Yeah, 2,000
2,000
pieces is no
pieces.
fucking joke, guys.
Have you
I
started it
know.
already?
Yeah, are you
It's
starting
almost
it?
done. It's
Oh,
almost done.
Oh,
Yeah.
You do the edge first?
Always. Mhm.
Yeah.
Always?
you guys,
my
I
wife,
have
my
like
wife and my wife's a puzzle maniac.
me too. Me
They
too.
don't do like the 5,000 piece ones too often, but when they do, I'm like, how the hell can you even tell what, like they'll do like a floral landscape where
Right.
everything is
Those
just
are the
mush.
worst. Those are the
And
Yeah.
worst.
I'm like,
I couldn't.
you know what she tells me? Because I look at the picture. She goes, no, I look at the shape. And I was like, what?
Same.
How?
Yeah.
Yep.
You're
Yep.
see, I wonder if that's a male female thing, because for my
Yeah.
whole life, I've never once looked at the shape of a puzzle. I'm always just trying to make the picture line up. Maybe if I
Yes,
start looking at
I do it that way. I
You do it my
the
way?
same as you,
Oh, so it's
probably.
not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you terrible at puzzles like me? Are
No.
you pretty? Oh, you're good. Because I'm
Oh,
awful.
are you terrible? What's
takes me
that
a
like?
while.
No, I'm
I'll-
great.
Yeah, my daughter's better than me.
All right. So I have a question. When I'm done with this 2,000 puzzles, do you think your wife would be down for that?
She might. She might.
Yeah.
Don't threaten her with a good time. I've seen like
Yeah.
big puzzles, and then I'll pop out a couple times, and I'm like, oh wow, you almost finished. Like, you're good.
I think puzzles are just so like therapeutic as well, and then it
Mhm.
like works your brain. What is your puzzle
Right.
of, Dre? What is the picture?
It's like it's just like a lake scene with like a
Mm.
boat and a car and like some mailboxes. It's very
Oh, cool.
generic, like just
The puzzles that I
trees.
do, I glue and then I like hang up in my room. So I
Mhm.
have actually 3 different ones of like Marilyn Monroe that I've done in the
Oh.
past. Yeah. So
Uh-huh.
That sounds cool.
yeah,
Mhm.
I
You
just
guys want
don't
to see
have,
my most recent project?
oh God, it's another car, right?
Yeah.
See the
It
gold?
Oh, I
Do
love
you see
that
the
one.
gold
Yeah. I love
Yes.
it. I saw it on Facebook. I'm like, dang, this guy
Did you
rules.
see-
Yeah.
Did you see the gold one actually with the 6 wheels?
That's really cool.
That's
Did I put
awesome.
Yeah,
I
it's,
didn't see that one.
yeah. So I also did one to make it look like my truck,
That one. Yeah.
Mhm, yeah,
and then that's the new one though, the 6x6.
Where did you get that?
I ordered it on Amazon, and it
It's
took
so
like 3
cool.
weeks. It took like 3.5 weeks to build. It was a long build. There was like 85 gears and like 170
wow.
bearings. There's like a
Jeez.
drivetrain. It's intense, but I was like,
That's
it's a
your
So
challenge.
do you
therapy.
find that therapeutic?
That's
Yeah, rock. That's
it's
your
more
therapy.
than therapeutic.
It
because
works your brain. That's
it works
totally,
my whole
yeah.
brain, and it doesn't allow any space for any negative or stress to creep in. I'm just busy. I'm having fun, and so like when I'm done, I'm either super tired and I go to sleep, or I'll handle some other stuff. But like, there's no time to stress. I'm kind of
Right.
occupying. I'm channeling my energy in a craft, and it doesn't have to be that, but that's the craft. Like, it's completely consuming because it's like painting and building and testing and electrical and soldering and all this crap. By the time you're done, it take it. You know, I sit down about 3 hours at a time, about like every other night for 3 hours, and then it just
Good.
slowly comes along, and then before you know it, I have this crazy cool thing I built.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you're so creative too. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And don't let me forget, Dre, I have lots of good puzzles right now.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
We can do puzzle swaps. I've been puzzle swapping with my back neighbor. It's so hot right now.
It is. It really is.
Are you into puzzle swapping?
It's a puzzle
Yeah.
exchange.
Let's puzzle swap, man.
Yeah, Miss
But I
Amy's
do
into
like
that
Yes.
too. Yeah.
Mhm. I love that we all have our own creative thing that we get to do that like gets us to
Yes.
escape. You know, allows us to escape a little bit. It's really cool.
I love it. Makes me so
Mhm.
happy we're all finding our way through this, right? All right.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. Okay, so I don't know if we mentioned, because we are professionals, but sometimes we're off track. This is our down the rabbit hole episode.
Right? Yes.
And
Yep.
we're covering artificial intelligence,
Yeah.
and it's super creepy.
It's super creepy.
Yeah.
There's so much information. It's like overload.
much.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and kind of super cool, because there's a lot of super cool things about it.
There is a lot of super cool stuff
Mhm.
too.
That's
Yes.
super cool, super creepy.
Well, let's do
So-
this. How about let's talk about anything that we think will be cool about it, because I think that'll
Okay.
be the shorter conversation. And then
Yeah.
we can go
Right.
on all the deep dark stuff. What do you think?
Yeah.
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 I have some really cool stuff.
All right, y'all. Let's
All right.
buckle up.
Give it to me. Give it to
What do
me.
you what do you think, Timo? What do you think is going to be cool about AI?
Okay, so like I was telling you guys before we started recording, I watched a 2-hour documentary kind of show on YouTube. It was actually put out by PBS, and it's called Frontline in the Age of AI. And took a bunch of notes, but the one thing that really I got excited about was these two women. One woman actually was diagnosed with breast cancer. She was actually diagnosed 2 years late, where if she had been diagnosed 2 years prior, she wouldn't have had to gone through chemo and all that stuff. Yeah. And she's a major scientist, and so her and her doctor got together, and because of this AI system that they've created, it's basically able to predict breast cancer prior to even the first mammogram that you have that would show no trace. So basically it's like it will stop women from having unnecessary biopsies, unnecessary surgeries, where that's done a lot these days. And then they're like, okay, well, we didn't find anything. It was basically like you just had a surgery that you didn't need to have. So that's it's going to do away with that. And I don't know anyone in my life that, I mean, my grandma did have breast cancer, but she got it like at 90 something. So it was like in the end of her life. So I don't know anyone in my life that's had breast cancer, but I'm a big advocate of it. And I just think that's like one of the positive things that I got from
I
AI.
take it back.
Yeah.
I take it back. That is super cool. I
It
have
is
a
cool.
coworker right now. I'm not going to cry. That has breast cancer, and she's going through all that right now. And she just came back to work, and she's an older woman, and she's like the nicest person. Yeah. She's incredible. So that makes me really happy that they have that.
Yeah.
I take it back. Yeah. That's super cool.
That is super cool. I just was like, that was one of the things that I'm like, oh my God, that's so great. That's so great. Yeah.
So that would prevent, like, remember when Angelina Jolie was like, well, my mom had breast cancer, so I'm just going to chop these puppies off. And
Just
so like if they did this technology, then she wouldn't have to have done that. Now she had the money to make it look all natural and whatever, but
with her, she had that gene, which basically said you contain the gene, which means you're going to get it. We can't predict when you're going to get it, but you will get it. So,
wow.
I think that's a little bit different, because like if you're going to get it, you're going to get it because of the gene.
This just catches it faster.
It catches it faster. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because they say early detection is like your survival rate. So if they detect it prior to even it showing up on anything, I mean, that's like life-saving, like times a million.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Let me tell you this story real quick. So my coworker back in the fall went to her doctor, was having some issues, wasn't feeling too great, and the doctor did a full check. They said, nope, you're fine. You're fine. So over the week, she just said, I felt like I knew my body better than my doctor, and I knew something was wrong. And she went back and said, test me again. And they found the cancer, and they said if she had waited 2 months, she would have been screwed.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah.
That gut feeling is everything. I'm telling you.
It's everything. You have to be your own advocate.
Yeah.
Right.
I watched probably 4 or 5 specials on AI and all from different parts of the spectrum. Some kind of focusing on how it's already being implemented in like China and different places.
Oh yeah.
And then I watched Joe Rogan and Elon Musk, which was like a full 2 hours and 15 minutes. And there was a lot of there. But one of the cool things that he said, for being a creepy alien psychopath guy,
he's so weird.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
He goes,
freaky.
Like the conversation was starting to veer off, and he's like, now hold on to your pants, all your little conspiracy theory, audience members. He's like, the first thing we're going to try and do is get people to walk again and make blind people see again. He's like, so don't think that, we're coming to get you just that fast. And secondly, you're most likely not going to be able to afford the Neuralink installed in your brain. So it's not going to be for everybody. It's going to be for people who can afford it, or who, somehow maybe got sponsored or something. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I thought that was cool. I'm like, that was refreshing to hear from him, because he's so like concrete and like, he'll say some off the wall shit and he'll be like, yeah. And he always ends it with a yeah. And you're like,
yeah.
He's a very, very intelligent man, obviously, but
Because he's got a
I
neural
almost-
link in his fucking brain.
He
I
might already
almost-
have one.
No,
yeah.
you guys, like I almost detect like some type of like he might be on the spectrum more on maybe the Asperger side, because he's so intelligent, but he can't relay his information. Like Joe almost seemed more intelligent in his question asking than Elon did in his answers.
Or
I was
at
like,
least more down to earth.
it was
He-
so
because-
weird. It was
yeah,
just so
because
weird.
he was kind of answering him from a very intelligent standpoint, where he's just like the answer that would come wasn't the answer you were anticipating, because you don't think
Exactly.
like him.
Like,
you know?
oh, I better
Yeah.
stop mid-sentence because I don't think you'll understand what I'm saying.
Mhm.
So yeah.
And
Mhm.
that's one thing when he starts getting into the different parts of the brain, and you're like, okay, he's not just a shell, he actually knows the fucking brain in and out and rockets and everything else, so I'm gonna listen.
Yeah. I feel like
But,
every
you know-
time I finish a sentence, I'm gonna go and so yeah, and then I'm gonna nod my head twice.
It's
Yes.
so weird. It's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
weird. Oh my
It's just
God.
the way he finishes.
Yeah.
Yeah, every single time. It's
Yeah,
really
so
creepy.
so he was saying, I don't know if you caught this, but he thinks in 5 years
Mm-hmm.
the technology for me and you to communicate without actually speaking is going to be there, just transferring data like via Bluetooth from my chip to your chip. And what he was saying, the neat part about that is, you know, we don't think in words like we kind of do sometimes. When we think, we have like an actual sentence in our head, but sometimes when you think, you're thinking feelings and thoughts, and they're not always you know, showing themselves as specific words. It's
Right.
sometimes it's deeper than that. So he's like, that's something you're going to have a deeper communication, because when you can't put a sentence together, but you got something good to say,
Yeah.
you're going to be able to get that point across without having to put it into sentence form. It's going to be the core value of that meaning, you know. So that'll be interesting to see how that kind of
That'll
works.
destroy marriages, because
Oh yeah.
when you're married, you
Oh, I
know
can't stand this
you
bitch.
can think
Good
it,
God.
but don't say it. Right?
Oh yeah. I
Right?
never thought
And
of that.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Right?
That's the key to a
shit.
good marriage, is knowing when to just shut up and go to the garage.
Absolutely. I don't want to hear or feel my hubby's icky thoughts all day. No thanks.
Yeah.
No,
Mm-mm.
thank you.
Yeah.
I tried explaining that to my wife. I'm like, babe, you don't understand. Like, I'm a man. Like, every day is a struggle. She's like, what do you mean a struggle? I'm like, no matter where I go, I'm a man. Like, I see anything that resembles a woman, and my brain starts wandering. I'm like, it's no matter how good, wholesome Christian, doesn't matter what you are, you have those instincts. It's like when a male lion sees a pack of female lions, he's only thinking about one thing. And is he a bad lion for thinking like that? Not really. So I tried
Yeah.
explaining to her,
I'm
You
a
know.
lion. Let me fly.
yeah, it's just my
Oh,
instincts.
man.
I can't control it.
Oh,
That
I
came
think-
out weird, but
I honestly think if women are honest with themselves and they see the same thing that you're seeing, we're acknowledging that beauty too. We're like, oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
she's got, she's beautiful.
Absolutely.
You know,
Maybe
so
even
we're
more
doing
than
it
men.
too, and we know what's
she's
going
hot.
on in
Get,
there.
get her
you know?
number.
Are you? Absolutely. Absolutely. But most of the time when I see a hot chick, I'm like, that fucking bitch right now.
Right.
Seriously.
Mhm.
Shit. Yeah. My wife will be like, she's got terrible teeth. I'm like, I wasn't looking at the teeth.
See, I feel her on this. I get this.
So
It's
true.
just different. It's
So
just
true.
different.
Or like
Yeah.
Yeah.
those boobs are so fake. Ugh.
Yeah. You know what? I will definitely agree with her on that. I'm not a big fan of the fake bazingas. don't know.
Bazingas.
Yeah, like
Mm.
the only time fake boobs even look good to me is if they look like they're not fake. And so it's like, well,
Right.
when you get, when you're at that point,
And that's
think-
hard to do.
it is hard to do. Yeah,
It's a lot of money. A lot of money to get them that,
you're
to
gonna
look that way.
you're gonna drop what, $5,000 to $10,000. I don't know how
Oh,
much
no.
it costs, but I could
12K,
imagine, like,
baby.
well,
12K right now to
yeah.
get those
So
looking
it's
that
like,
way.
I better go big
Yeah.
or go home, right?
Mhm.
I'm sure.
Mm,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I love doing a podcast with a man because we get to hear bazingas. That's fun.
I
We
have
weren't
like
saying that before, ladies.
I have like
Nope.
45 other names. I'll bring
That's
them out as
awesome.
we
He's
go
got a
along.
whole list.
That's
I
cool.
can't wait to hear them all.
I can't wait. Just throw them out here and there.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, so what else is good for air.
Well, if we can
Good.
just go back real quick to the BMIs, which is the Neuralink, which is Elon's company for the implantable brain machine. One thing that I really dug was that he even mentioned it like fixing Alzheimer's, which I'm
That's
very
incredible.
I'm very relatable to that right now. My grandma had it. My grandma passed away of it. My aunt had it. She passed away of it. And it's
Yes.
been my worst nightmare. I mean, they say it's not genetic. They say it skips a generation. There's like no really like true whatever. But like everyone knows that, well, everyone that listens to Handcuffs and Sage with our paranormal true crime stuff, everybody knows that I live with my mom and my 2 boys. And I'm constantly like watching her to see if like, oh God, and I can't determine now. I'm at the point where I can't determine if it's senileness or if it's crossing that, that line. So it's really freaking me out. This will never be in her generation. She'll never get this in her time. But if it could save families down the line from this like traumatic, horrible disease, I'm all for that.
Absolutely. I don't think anyone wants to end up in that place and be in that state. My grandfather has it. He doesn't even know who I am, who my mother is. And this was a brilliant businessman. I would assume that
there's
he was
no
on,
discrimination on who
no,
gets
no,
it. Yeah.
no. I mean, this was a man who was so smart, probably had Asperger's, but brilliant. And now he gets up every morning and puts on his suit. He thinks he's going to work.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Right. So that I don't want to live like that. And I know that he wouldn't have wanted to live like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Your body is so healthy, but your brain is just deteriorating by the minute.
Now,
and it's absolutely horrible.
How do you, this is a little bit of a side note. How do you guys feel? I always think about this with all the surgeries and, Botox and implants and liposuction and things that, to make people look younger, make your face look younger. And like, I think there's a lot of cool things about it, like for example, like I have wrinkly ears. Like I know I look young and strapping.
Let me
can't
see
tell.
that.
I'm not
Show
gonna
us,
show
show us your ears.
I have
Why
wrinkly
are you
like
lying?
I have wrinkly old man ears,
It's
and I'm like,
because you're fair
if
skinned
I
and you're
could
in the
just, like,
sun.
it probably is, but I'm like,
Yeah.
I see like guys on TV. I know it's not a good way to compare myself,
Oh,
but they'll be like
gosh.
20 years older than me. I'm like,
Of course.
ears. They got no like ear wrinkles like me.
No, you're
Your ears look fine. Stop it.
I don't know if you could see it if I just stretched it like that a little bit. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Anyways,
Are
so
you ear comparing?
Well, I'm always wondering, like,
ear
at what-
envious?
at what point do you want to prolong an aging life on the surface when on the inside, you're winding down like the kind of Joan River, like these people who are just just keep going and going, and the lips are more plastic, and then pretty soon they have no movement in their face, but like inside they're super fucking old. And I'm like, how long do you want it? Like I would honestly rather like my wife, for example, like we're gonna age together. There's gonna come a time where like it's not gonna be about looks, it's gonna be more about companionship. So like I don't really need her to try to pretend she's young and do this and do that. Like just be yourself and be, I just don't know how other people feel, because obviously, yeah, it's cool, like, oh, like my lips are puffy, like no more wrinkles under my eyes, but your body, your organs, everything's still aging. So why try and it's kind of like, why try and fool the system? I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think a lot of people feel differently about it. Like I'm not someone who is out getting all this fun stuff done. But I think for some people it's very important how they look. But everyone, which is fine, right? Everyone is different and portrays themselves differently. I think as we age, it's beautiful at different stages. You know what I mean? I think it's fine age. I think it also is, if you're with someone who just accepts and loves you no matter what, that also probably makes it sound like, I don't care. If he doesn't care, I don't care. You know what I mean?
I feel like the people
cultural.
who are out there, like the celebrities that are out there, they feel like they owe it as a service to their fans or whatnot to maintain that facade. So you'll see more celebrities and actresses and actors doing it than you would like the general population, right? Which, because I'm like cool with being wrinkly and stuff. Like I don't really care. My husband doesn't care. He's gonna love me no matter
Right.
what. You know,
Right.
so it's all about how I feel about myself, right?
Right.
But yeah, I think like they all do it more so for their fan base and
To
to
co-
maintain,
Which
Yeah.
makes sense. That
You
makes
know?
They're
sense.
on the,
Mhm.
yeah, they're in front of the camera. They're like, you got to look good, you know, got to
Yeah.
maintain kind of an image.
Yeah,
Anyway.
it just sucks when it kind of goes sideways and they do a really bad job.
I
You know, like, ooh, what did
that's
you
so
do?
sad, baby
Yeah,
girl. Why didn't you
yeah.
love yourself before? Yeah.
Right?
So
yeah.
so you have a Neuralink installed in your brain, and you have it like our iPhones almost have unlimited storage, just in the palm of our hand. So now you have that in your brain. What do you think that's gonna do? Like being able to remember everything, every phone number, every photograph, to be able to pull up photographs in your brain, like as if you're looking at your photo gallery, like that might
Great.
So you know what I thought? You know,
it might make
Great.
some
You
major
mentioned
changes.
this like a few episodes back where you're talking about Black Mirror, and like
right?
I binged Black Mirror from season 1 to season 5 like within like 3
Wasn't
days.
it amazing?
And I
It was
made
amazing.
notes. I made notes of like
Woo!
every season, every episode that had something to do with AI.
Yes.
And actually, season 1, episode 3, it was called The Entire History of You. And that's exactly what Neuralink is.
That was
And
that,
it
like,
was where they went to, they went to the dinner party, and literally they
Right.
could just like, their eyes glazed over, and they could bring up and just kind of like go 2002, 2000, 1999, whatever. And like
It's
bring
like,
up and
it's when you
replay
scroll
on your
through your
TV.
phone, right?
Yeah. Or you could put it
It's
on
like
your
you
big
scrolling
screen.
through your. But I'm
It's
saying
so
like
crazy.
it's similar to scrolling through your phone, like all your pictures going like, okay, let me
Exactly.
go to that photo or that video or whatever. It's kind of the same thing, but this camera is always on because it's implanted in your like eyelids or contacts or whatever. You know, it's like it's part of your body.
See, okay, funny you say that, and I just want to shed some light on this quick topic. I was thinking about this the other day, like Facebook, for example. Like imagine your typical comment thread, and you have good ones, bad ones, good, bad, and ugly, right? So that's almost people's consciences intertwining, because you don't have to say the words, you don't have to write the words, you just type them. They come right from your brain into, you type them up, you text them, whatever, and the person's reading them, and it's going into their conscience. They're not reading what you said out loud. No one else in the room is hearing it, so it's literally going from your brain to their brain in a sense.
Right.
So it's almost like what they always talk about, interconnected consciousness. That's kind of like what social media can be, if you think about it. Because like you guys know, I'll get into some heated comment wars over shit I don't even know.
No way.
No way, not you, Rob. No.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, but then sometimes I'm like, shit, like it got the best of me again. Like I didn't have time to like proofread my thoughts, and they just came out.
I didn't proofread the thoughts. I love it. I wouldn't want to have anything like that implanted in me.
You know what I found like really interesting in watching that whole like Joe Rogan, Elon Musk interview was that when he said this, it actually really resonated. He said, believe it or not, or like it or not, the fact that we all have these smartphones attached to our hand all the time, essentially we are cyborgs. We are working.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We kind of are
as
already.
an AI. We are.
Yeah.
Right.
And we freak out when we forget our phones. It's like we have a missing limb or something.
Yeah.
And
we
it's
don't
so
have
true.
to memorize phone numbers.
Yeah.
It was really funny today. I got a phone call from, Aurora for the like 50th time through.
I'm gonna start doing that to you too.
No. So she had a really cute riddle that Dad would not let her ask Alexa. She said, "No, you will not. You will use your brain." And then he couldn't come up with the answer, and she couldn't come up with the answer. And I want to just ask you guys really quickly. It's a cute little one. It's funny.
Okay.
Okay. It is in. Sorry, let me frame my thought really quick. You can find it. You can find 2 in a week. You can find once a year, but never in a month. What is it? There are 2 in a week, once a year, but never in a month. Right. Okay. So she couldn't figure it out, and it was really cute because like as soon as I heard it, like the neural receptors in my brain started working And no, I did not need Google and I did not need Alexa, because if we had this neurotransmitter, it's going to fuck us up, guys. It's going to stop our
That's
brains,
true.
our real
That's
brains
true.
from working. And it's going to be Alexa answering for us. And we are going to lose all those neurotransmitters. And you talk about Alzheimer's, that shit's going to set in. If you cannot come up with these answers on your own and you absolutely need Google every time you have a question, that's a problem. Stop
Your
it.
brain's not going to grow. So wait, I
Work
almost don't want to know
the
the answer.
muscle.
I kind of want to work for it now. So 2 in a week and 1 in a year and none in a month.
Right.
So what do you not have in a month that you get twice a week? That's
I love to see all your brains working. Those neurotransmitters are transmitting.
So if
They're
we all
working
promise
hard.
not to cheat and we think about it all week and then see if we get it next week. Can
maybe we should do that. Yeah, because
Can we all
I think
agree?
it's going to be something
Yeah.
silly though. Like I'm thinking deeply, like it's not
You're
menopause.
thinking too hard.
Yeah.
Let me write it down. You know what?
Okay.
You guys,
What the fuck?
how about this? Anyone who's listening can message us what they think the answer is, but you cannot Google it. Let's all be honest.
Yeah.
Comment
Yeah.
below.
Okay.
Comment
Use
below.
your own brain, your own neurotransmitters.
All right.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so
Working, baby.
nobody cheat. Give it a
No.
good week to think about it, and then we'll all come back next week and talk about it.
Okay.
Well,
So
I have
Dre,
one. I have a quick
say
dad
it.
joke. Can I sneak in a quick dad joke that I can tell you the answer for tonight, so at least we
Yeah.
can satisfy some.
Oh
So,
God.
Yeah, do it.
why did the mushroom get asked to the school dance?
Because it's a fun guy.
He was a fun guy.
Oh my God, I love it. Okay, Dre,
Nice
go
one,
ahead.
Timo.
I love it. Dre, repeat the riddle one more time for everybody.
So what can you find 2 of in a week?
Oh, 2 of in a week?
2 of in a week. You can find 2 of these in a week. You can find one. It happens once a year and never in a month.
All right, cool. I'll work that one.
Does it start with the
gonna be
letter
fun.
H?
Don't ruin it.
Yeah, we can't give it up. Okay.
No,
I don't
we
think-
gotta have our
right.
listeners message us. Maybe we should give out a prize.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah.
would be really cool. Yeah.
Who wants a prize? Take me to Vegas. That's your prize.
I only go to Vegas.
Anyone can win.
Okay,
All
you
right,
guys.
let me repeat it really quick, because I think I had it a little bit off, but okay, so what comes twice a week, once a year, but never in a month? What
Oh,
comes twice a week, once a year, but never in a month?
Okay.
The question kind of like cancels itself out though, because if it comes twice a week, it has to come in the month, because that's going to be 8 times a month. Am I tripping?
Right.
I'm tripping. All right.
Right.
I'll
Okay.
think on it.
Keep it to yourself, man.
They don't call
Keep
it a
to
riddle for
yourself.
nothing.
You guys, I think we should all just get
Shut
super
up,
high
Rox.
right now and think of all the
Oh
answers.
yeah, that'd be fun.
Okay, so you know what's funny is that when we're watching this whole podcast with Joe Rogan, is that he I think he pokes a little bit sometimes, like
He
he knows what
does.
people say about
Uh-huh.
Elon, and so he'll poke and he'll say like, yeah, mushrooms are fun, all kinds of mushrooms are fun.
All kinds.
Um,
Don't you think so, Elon?
I have never. I totally saw Joe Rogan in a totally different light. Like I'm an '80s girl, so back in the day, he was like Fear Factor, like
Yeah,
that, like
mhm.
nerdy dude, like standing on the pier at the lake, whatever. And like I was like turned on, like he is like a smart fucking guy. I was like, dang,
Oh, yeah. Well, that's why
yeah.
he's got like a #1 show and he gets
Well-
paid like billions of dollars.
I
Yes.
know. I mean,
Yes.
damn. I was
awesome.
like, oh, is
Good
this
for
guy
him.
married? What the fuck? I'm like, damn. There's another one that bit the dust.
So going back
You
to
know
the
what, though?
neurotransmitter. Sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead. You want to say?
Oh
Yeah.
no, I was just gonna say that I like Joe, but he shoots down all the conspiracies now because he's that popular that he's got the CIA at his door. Like, hey, don't talk about chemtrails,
Mhm.
don't talk about this, and don't talk about that, and we'll be good.
Yeah, he's got them.
Gotta watch
they're in
what
the
he
pocket.
says a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Little
can tell
bit.
it's changed. When
Yeah.
he first started off, it was a little more edgy.
He
and
didn't
now it's
care.
very-
Yeah,
Yeah.
he didn't care in the
Mhm.
beginning.
and that because
Yeah.
because he's speaking to what, millions of people in every podcast, so he's very powerful in that sense.
I really like him. I do. I enjoy him.
I do.
Mhm.
Well,
I
you
really
know what
liked
they're
him too.
you know what they're finding is that people, they used to think like people were just needed quick entertainment, and there's been studies showing that people are actually, especially nowadays, really into like a full 2-3 hour podcast. People will sit
Right.
down and listen to the whole thing because
Mhm.
it's almost like being there. Like when I watch podcasts when I build my RC cars, and it's like almost like hanging out with two people you
Yes.
don't know for 3 hours
Mhm.
because you get their
Hell
back and
yeah.
your thoughts go, even though they don't hear your thoughts. It's almost like you're in the room with them. So I
You're
enjoy it.
laughing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, absolutely. That's why people love our podcast. We're like, what, top 10 right now? It's amazing. I can't handle it, you guys. It's great.
Dr. Jeff
Um,
still loves us. Shout out to Dr. Jeff. Love you.
Yay.
So fun. So fun. So fun.
He walks in. Dr. Jeff is our dentist, me and Red's dentist, and he walks in and he has the friggin' mask on. I'm like, damn, I can't see your beautiful smile. He's like, I know.
The mask off.
I know.
Doctor.
I know.
Oh, I like him so
That's
much.
so funny. I
Okay.
think I need a new dentist.
Everyone should go. So, any other really positive, amazing things that stuck out that you thought, wow, this is incredible?
I was kind of bummed because they were interviewing a guy that lives in Michigan. He's like the president of one of like the unions out there where they're like major, building cars out there, and how like their towns have like basically gone to like ghost towns because all the workers were replaced by robots, and they went from
Mhm.
like 1 million employees to like 700 employees. And to me that was like, that's like crazy to me. And I was like really bummed. I'm like, okay, like, yeah, there's this, and they're trying to make up for it, saying, well, we're taking away this job, but because we're making twice as much, product on this side, you're going to need quality
Yeah,
control
there'll be other
people,
jobs.
right?
Yeah.
So this one guy brought up a really good point. He said, if you go back 30 or 40 years ago, 50% of those jobs, because they're saying we're going to lose once we go into AI, we're going to lose about 50% of the jobs. They're going to be diminished. Like,
Mhm.
that's it. But he said, go back 30, 40 years ago, and 50% of those jobs are no longer, we don't have those anymore. And he uses an example: telephone operators, elevator operators, bowling pin setters. Like, if you think about all those jobs back in the day that our technology replaced then. So
Mhm.
maybe because of AI, it might actually generate jobs that we've never thought of before that might make up for that 50%. I'm just like playing on the devil's advocate here and thinking,
Yeah.
like, maybe there might be light at the end of the tunnel for this technology.
I don't know. I see. I don't think so, because you guys have seen Terminator. I mean, the robots wipe us out, and
You've
anyone,
seen Terminator.
anyone
know
who's
what's gonna happen.
anyone who's anybody on a global scale right now, I'm talking Bill Gates, I'm talking these, global leaders at the global summits and the Bilderberg groups. These people are all preaching that we're overpopulated and we need to reduce the population by 2030. They keep repeating it over and over and over again. And a lot of people are like, oh, you're a conspiracy. Like, no, they're saying that. Like, they're recorded
Mhm.
on TV saying we can't sustain. So that is what's scary. Like, okay, it's going to be the rich people and the robots. And hopefully the robots don't eat the rich people, because then it's just going to be the robots. But
for sure, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. It's totally like that.
Mhm.
For sure.
Yeah.
But in this scenario, the poor get killed by robots.
Yeah,
So-
we're dead. Forget it. We're
Yeah,
not gonna
well,
make
that's
it
the
red.
thing that,
a lot of our jobs will be gone.
We did.
And then
We dead.
so here's something relevant to what's going on now. Like, so for our viewers, right now we're experiencing a lot of protests because there was a police brutality killing recently that everybody knows about, and there's a lot of talk of defunding the police. I'm sure you guys have heard it passed around a little bit, which kind of came out of nowhere. You're like, whoa, like
Right.
defund the police, that's, you kind of went from A to Z, you know. And
You know, it didn't
I've
actually come from nowhere though, because they did this in New Jersey. And I want to say that when they say defund the police, what New Jersey did was they like fired their entire police force, but then they forced them to submit to psychological evaluations and like background checks again and everything. And they rehired them and they said, okay, do not bring out your gun, go visit the community, go talk to the community, go become their friends. Do not give any tickets whatsoever, and reestablish the relationship you have with the community. And they went from like a 16% like, you know, acceptance rate to like an 80% acceptance rate.
Really?
And so I feel like when they say defund the police, it is like you know, it's not the right wording. It's not really what they mean.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I was thinking about it like this, and I was like, we're a long time from that happening. Everybody knows the police are not going anywhere. There's not going to be lawlessness. It's not going to be a free for all. Everyone knows that. But I was also thinking, I'm like, what could they do? Like, how would they watch us if they didn't have, I'm like, oh, 5G, the surveillance that's going up everywhere. And I was like, that's what they have in China. And it sounds silly, but
You always circle back.
Facial
Circle back to
recognition. So
5G.
this is AI. And one of the documentaries I watched was in China about the facial recognition cameras everywhere, and they know who's going in what store and where, and they're scanning your retinas and everything. And so it doesn't matter if they have police on every corner, because they know where you're at. So if you're out of line, they're going to come knocking at your door. So they'll be dispatched in a timely manner. So that's kind of what scares me. And I don't think we have the infrastructure yet, but while we've been on quarantine, towers are going up everywhere. In Santa Clarita, in California, they're going up. It started in a little small spot in LA around Hancock Park, and now it's growing. And T-Mobile and Sprint just had a merger, right? So I don't know. I watch this stuff, and you know me, I got to push the scary conspiracy. So I think it's kind of a long-term goal, but I see, you know, 10 to 20 years, we're going to have facial recognition just like China everywhere. You know, probably not in the rural areas and the kind of off-skirt suburban areas, but anywhere that's happening is going to be loaded with cameras, and it already is, but loaded with public infrastructure cameras.
Well, Rob, in China, they've replaced currency with facial recognition. So like they use the example of like, hey, if you want your KFC, you just walk up, you order, and then they take a picture of you. So it's basically like very minimal money. Like if you want to purchase, it's making it like, hey, cool, I don't have to carry my wallet around anymore. Hey, I don't have to carry my money.
So if you ever talk negative about the government, now you can't get your fried chicken, and now you can't get your Big Mac because you've been red flagged. That's the scary part.
Hello.
You know what?
They have this going, and they're using it, and we don't even realize it. So when like a couple years ago, I was in charge of doing my 20-year reunion, and I created like a person that was like basically what is it, like we were the I don't know, 1997 visionaries, right? So I created like, you know, visionaries of 97 or whatever, and then I would upload these photos of people, right? Like nobody that I was friends with yet, but I would click on that photo to tag, and lo and behold, holy shit, it comes up with the person's name. But we're not friends. We might have friends of friends, but we are not friends. And this only happened on the computer, but not on my phone. So tell me how Facebook knew from all of its millions of users who that person was.
They've been doing it for years and years and years.
It's a spider web.
No, they would never do that, you guys.
They know who they know.
You guys,
that's why Zuckerberg had to pay, you know, like $5 billion because he violated the privacy of like whatever, and he had to go to Congress and put his tail between his leg and all that shit.
Yeah. I have to say, I was able to find so many people that we had the best party ever. Like seriously, and thanks to Facebook.
That's cool. That's cool.
Facebook.
You know?
Yeah.
It was amazing. Yeah.
I love Facebook for that. I very rarely creep on people. Every once in a while I'll get a wild hair, like, I wonder what happened to that one dude in high school, and then I'll be like, I don't know him or probably anyone related to him, but I'm like, in high school I knew his friends, so I start looking at them, and then you go to their friends page and you're like, oh, oh, okay, they're friends with him, and then bam, you find their page, and you're like, found you, son of a bitch.
You
it's so funny.
creeper, dude.
Come on, you've done
You're
it. Come
basically a
on.
detective.
I don't.
Oh,
I
come
never-
on.
No,
You
no,
never
Look
try
at
to
her.
find someone.
Look at her. Look at Red.
I
Look at
don't.
her.
I don't.
Well, that's
I
good.
don't.
That
I
means you're
don't.
just happy. You're happy, and
I
everything's
really
good.
don't care. Yeah.
We just
I
go to
don't.
Dre. We just go to Dre. Dre's got it
It
going
always
on.
it always is like it's always interesting to me, like the way like I think, and then I meet people that do like think like that. Like I'm gonna look up this
Mhm.
person to see what this person is doing or whatever. I don't care. I don't care.
Man. But you know,
I
that
can't
goes
make
back.
myself care. You know what I
That
mean?
goes back to your like man mentality. Like, you know, in your previous
Mhm.
lives, you were like a man. This is like, okay,
It's my first
Rock.
time. I'm not good at it.
yes, Rock. This is our other part of our podcast where we're like, you know, like your past lives and everything. And we've
yeah,
discussed this
you're-
many
you're-
times where Red has been a man and she's been reincarnated as a man many times. And this is her first
Oh,
life
yes.
as a woman. And she fucking does think like a man most of the time, which is crazy. Like she just does not give a fuck. It's like, fuck you, like whatever, you know, where like I'm in the corner crying, like my life is over. And she's like, fuck it. Like, what the fuck? You know, like,
Just like yours, dude.
Snap
so
out of it, you
refreshing.
little sissy.
Yeah, pull together. I never want to be a woman again. It sucks. I hate it. Okay.
Okay, I gotta mention this, guys. So I know Timo, you watched this very recently, and I haven't watched Black Mirror in a long time. But I remember mentioning this part, which really totally freaked the fuck out of me. It was when the woman's husband passes away,
yes.
and then she kind of like uploads all his text messages and all his voice recordings and all of
Yes.
that into like this whatever it is, like an app, right?
Yes.
It was
And
season
so
2, episode 1,
Right.
called Be Right Back.
Right. Okay. So super sad episode, right? So she
It was
basically
horrible.
creates like a physical AI,
I cried.
right?
Mhm,
Horrible. I have to tell you guys, in my research, I actually found that this app actually exists. Not the actual physical form. It's a
Okay.
very like
But you
elementary.
can talk to your dead person?
No, you can text to your dead person.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
It's an app. And it will like take like the misspellings and the like way that he speaks and everything, and it will give it back to you. And so it's really
No.
creepy. And so she opened up the app to the public. I don't know if it's still open, and I can't remember the name of it right now, but absolutely she uploaded like the hundreds and thousands of text message that she had with her with this person, and it just basically recreated everything. So then I think she still uses it like at least like twice a year. Well, she'll message him like, I really miss you, and he'll answer back in different ways, the same way that this person would answer back.
I'm not into it, man.
As fuck.
That's
Oh my God.
crazy.
So the
Makes me feel
technology's
so
out there,
uncomfortable.
man.
Well,
Yeah.
the weird thing about that episode is like she kept on going to the next levels. Like, okay, now you can have this. Now you can have this, and it ends with her having this like her husband back, but like she was like annoyed at the end. Like she is just like, oh, I know you're not him. I know, like, and she didn't want him anymore, and she basically like hit him up in the attic at the end, and it was like, but yeah, that
remind me of the part where she tries to like, does she try to kill him or force him to commit suicide, or?
So she takes him for a walk, like a hike, and they're like in Ireland, so they're like with all those cliffs like above the ocean, and she's like, oh, I'm gonna jump, and he's like, no, you're not gonna jump, and she's like, you jump, because he will do anything she says, and he's like, okay, and she's like, no, seriously, jump, and then it cuts, and then because she ends up being pregnant with her husband, so she's pregnant, and then it ends up cutting to like 6 years in the future where she like basically keeps him up in the attic, and they go like visit him like once a month, like it's like the
on
weekend.
His birthday
It's
birthday.
like it's so bananas. But I am just so obsessed with the show because every single episode kind of has a link to like the same stuff, but it's so different. And like I just want to talk about this one. It was in season 4, episode 2, and it's called Archangel, and we're all parents, so we know how this is. And it's
that's such a good one.
Yeah, so it's basically this mom is at the playground with her little girl. She sees a friend, and they're looking at the friend's new baby, and her little girl, who's probably about 5 or 6, follows the cat fucking like far ass, and like she has the whole neighborhood looking for her, and she's frantic and she's screaming. She's like, ah! Well, they find her and everything. So she goes to this business which is called Archangel, and they have an implant that they can put into your child, and then they give you a little laptop, and then you basically control. You can see what they see, you get a GPS, you get this, and it even has a filter. So if the child is watching some type of video game where there's guns and people are getting killed, or even the dog who is their neighbor dog that's barking like a maniac, it like blurs them out and kind of like blurts like the sound, so that they're not, you know, reacting
It, like,
to that
garbles it.
negative.
It
Yeah.
garbles it sound. Mm-hmm.
And like it goes on for many, many years, and then being a teenager, stuff happens that the mother's seen. She tries to put it away, and then she brings it back out, and it's like, it's crazy. And at the end, the daughter's like 15, and she's like, peace out, motherfucker, and she just leaves her mom because she's like, I'm done with this. But
Mm-hmm.
I could see how that would be so, like, for the littles, like as a parent, you're like, yeah, I
Mhm.
want to see this. I want to, you know, I want to know where my kid is. I want to know that they walk to school and they're safe and whatever. But like, where do you
It's like
draw
a
that
nanny
line?
cam. Like
Yeah, but it's
everybody
like
wants
way
a nanny
beyond that.
cam. I want to
Yeah.
make sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Whew. Yeah, that
But
was like, and
yeah.
I'm sure maybe we might have something like that in the near future,
Yeah.
where you
Yeah.
can have, you know, we have it on cell phones now. We can see
I
where
think
our kids
I
are.
think we'll probably have some sort of avatars in the future where it'll be like Wall-E, where we'll be at home sitting on our recliner, and we'll have an actual robot kind of avatar that goes out and does our work for us, but we can literally just program into the, you know, into their camera and control them with our brain. I could see that happening.
But what's
Yeah.
going to happen to
I mean,
our bodies?
we're already,
Like, our bodies will just like turn to mush.
yeah. Well, you've seen Wall-E. They all get fat. And
You're
they're
right.
all in.
Mhm.
They're all sitting in
Is
like
that a
those
cartoon?
little. Yeah.
Is that-
Have you seen?
Yeah.
Have you seen it? Oh, let me just
No.
let me just recap for anyone who hasn't seen Wall-E.
I don't know what
It's
that
like
is.
It's a little robot
Really?
guy, right?
It's so
it's a
good.
little Disney
Mhm.
cartoon with a little robot. He looks like Johnny Five. He's got the little bug eyes. and
Yes.
Little
Is he in
tank
the dump?
tracks.
Is he in the dump?
Yes.
He's in
Well,
like
he's
the
on
dump. Yeah. And
He's on Earth, and Earth is a dump. There's
Earth is a
only
Oh,
dump.
people on
and-
it. Yeah.
And
okay.
so you could, and Dre, correct me if I'm wrong,
So
but
here.
so a lot of
I'll help
the,
out a little bit.
you
I'll
know,
help out a little bit.
it's
So when
kind of,
what
yeah, go ahead.
so what happens is Earth is like destruction, like it's carbon emissions, or we're killing Earth and we're hurting ourselves. So what happens is like an Elon Musk or somewhat says, hey, let's build this big ass fucking spaceship and take everybody up to the atmosphere, and we can live up here for fucking hundreds and thousands of years, self-sustaining on our
It's
own
like
until Earth
Elysium,
is able
like
to
Elysium.
yeah, Elysium, right? Until Earth is able to regenerate itself, because right now it's fucked, right? And so
Mm.
there's like the same company that built that big ass shuttle, spaceship, whatever, the new Earth is also made these little tiny Wall-E characters that were supposed to like basically compact all the trash and pile it up and get it out of here, because that was one of the problems that we had. And so then, you know, instead of Earth like coming back in 20, 30, 40, 70 years, it took like thousands of years for it to come back. And so like there's these robots that are like traveling to Earth trying to find any set like source of life, like grass, greenery, whatever, able to like resurface. And so finally, as Wall-E has been doing this forever, I don't know exactly how many years it's been, there's Eva is like a very more like advanced robot, and she can fly down there and she can check to see like if there's life, and she finds like a little like tiny
Mm.
sprout of life, right?
Yeah,
So she
yeah.
brings it back, and so Wall-E hitches a ride with her to this new floating planet, and so then they're
Aw.
able to come back to Earth. But Wall-E has all of the memories of Earth. Like it's really cute. He's adorable, and he falls in love with Eva.
No, but
Ah.
the people on the
Oh, yeah,
planet is
the
what's
people.
really creepy. So everybody is, you know, unhealthy. Everybody has like the equivalent to like the Walmart motorized shopping cart, except it's like a floating one, and they all have like tablets, and so no one
I
has
could get
to do
behind
anything.
this. This sounds nice.
Mhm.
No, no
Well,
one has to do anything.
They lose
It's
Go
bone
on.
density. You know?
Yeah,
Yes.
They lose bone density. They can't even like walk.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so they're floating around all day. They're being entertained and advertised to on like large screens everywhere, pretty similar to how we already are. And then they have like tablets that are as a part of their little floating chair, and they're like, "Ooh, that I want like Home Shopping Network. I want that." And swiping, you know. And so it's it's pretty fucking scary because we're like halfway there. I mean,
I think I'm that right now from
even me,
quarantine.
even me and my wife, like, we do a lot. We raise kids. I have a business, but I'm like, I'll find myself sitting there and be like, nothing good, nothing good. And I'll just keep going. I'm like, I'm waiting for something to jump out at me. And then finally,
Oh my God.
Yeah, my kids will be like, Daddy, can I have a piggyback ride? I'm like, no, I'm trying to find something important that I haven't found yet.
I love it.
Sometimes I got to take a step back and be like, okay, don't be like Wall-E, you know, the movie.
Right.
You got to see it though. It's good. It's good.
I'm going to check it
It's
out
really
because
good.
I think that's me right now, because I feel like
Yeah.
I'm like a bump on a log, just like, bleh.
Cartoons
It's
are the
just
best
sad.
for conspiracies because they leak so many good things that are happening currently,
Right.
and they poke fun at them as well. But
Yeah.
a lot of this stuff is kind of coming true, kind of scary.
It's-
But you know,
It's
I don't
like,
know.
is
A lot of
it
people
like
don't care.
life imitating art, or is art imitating life?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I think so. I think onto the negative sides of AI, because I think we're just about there, right? It's going to make us lazier. All of our skills that we've had as human beings from, you know, the Stone Age of learning survival and all this, like, that's all going to slowly dissipate because we're going to be relying on the computer for everything. And what they want to do by 2030 is have smart cities where there's you know, a Wi-Fi grid that's just intensely strong everywhere, so any device is constantly linking up. Your brain will be linking up, your car, auto drive, all that stuff, and that stuff is happening, and we're not there yet, you know, might be a ways away, but I think that the self-driving cars is going to be a thing in the future. Like, look at like the Will Smith movie, you know, I could totally see that happening, and people being like, you know, fuck, my car wouldn't let me do, you know, self-drive. It was stuck in auto drive, and now it's taking me somewhere I don't want to go, you know, like stuff like that.
Like
I can see that
iRobot.
happening.
So
Yeah.
in this documentary thing that I watched, there's this kid, his name's Alex Rodriguez, not A-Rod, but he's 24 years old. He started a company called Embark. He's a multi-millionaire right now.
Oh yeah, Embark.
Yeah, and he it's basically self-driving like semi-trucks. He basically is like talking about how like the percentages of highway deaths and accidents is just from like just people not knowing how to drive, and he's basically saying like I can get this to 0 highway deaths by using these self-driving semi-trucks to deliver whatever. And it was very, very interesting because he was talking about how what was he saying? Shoot, now I forgot my train of thought. Anyways, I just was like mesmerized by how cute he was, and how he yeah, he was like
cute he was.
He was like he's just like a little nerd when he was a kid, you know. He did all these like robot competitions and whatever, and now he's 24 years old, and he has this like huge company that's like going to be the future. And I was just amazed by just the things that he was talking about. But you know, then they did the whole opposite of interviewing a truck driver, and how he made $150,000 one year, but like 100,000 of that was just in fuel, and then $300 a month in oil changes. And it's like by the time they did,
oh wow,
like he had like a $13,000 like engine replacement, and by the time the year was over, he made about $16,000 for that year, and no one can fucking live on that.
Nothing.
You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah, going from
Yeah.
$150,000 a year salary to like 16,000.
Yeah. I've been
is-
there. Hold my beer.
it's-
You can
yeah,
do it.
it was bananas. But you guys, on the Elon Musk stuff, when he's kind of like afraid of AI taking over, right? Did you guys
yeah.
like
Yeah.
like
Mm, No,
Yeah.
I don't think he's not afraid. I think he is like just being cute when he's like, he said, the most dangerous thing to our civilization is AI. And he's like, have you seen my company Neuralink? We're working on AI. And you're like,
Well,
what?
first of all, he's South African, not British, so that accent is not very well.
I can't do a South African accent. That's one
But listen, in March 2014, he said potentially that AI is potentially more dangerous than nuclear war.
Mhm.
And then in September of 2017, he says it's going to be the cause of World War III. So why would he basically say that and be so like, does he think he's just going to be like implanted and he's just going to become like, like, I don't get it. Is he not seeing it in his lifetime or like what?
I think that people, when they're innovators, right, when they're always wanting to kind of push the envelope, they kind of have, right?
Mm.
I feel like he's that kind of person. Like, what can we do next? And how are we going to figure that out? And there's no stop to that. And that's kind of terrifying. I made a list. I have a list.
Okay, yeah, let's hear that because I know you said that in the beginning.
Crazy.
Okay, cool.
Hey, buckle up, bitches. This is serious shit.
All right.
The dark side of AI. Whoa.
Say it in the South African accent. Can you do it?
Yeah, probably.
I can't do it. I don't even know what it sounds like.
Yeah, I can't do that. I've watched the movie District 9 like 80 times. It's one of my favorites, and I still can't do the South African accent.
The South African accent is, oh, my lady, I'm so sorry. I'm not doing
tough.
it. Okay.
It's really tough. Yeah. All right,
everyone work on that this week. We'll follow up. Okay. All right, so this AI, her name is Bina 48, and she's the most advanced AI there is, right?
What's her name?
Bina 48.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
I know
a beautiful
who this is.
name.
Yes.
Is she the robot lady that they've interviewed a couple times?
Yes.
Is that what you're talking about?
There's two. There's
Okay.
two. So this one's Bina.
Yes,
She has a better name
Handler.
than Elon's son.
Elon's son doesn't have a name. It's
what's it? It's
letters and sounds.
BX4.
It's like
he pronounced it on the Joe Rogan.
69
Yeah.
or plus sign.
It's like X.
What?
Ash.
Yeah.
What's with his wife though? She's all gothed out. I'm sorry, but I'm like,
really?
I expected him. I don't know. I could have just.
No, she is.
She is.
Not.
Oh,
mm-hmm.
I love them even more now.
I don't know. I just expected more of
it's
a bombshell. Not to be mean.
It's not sexy goth. Okay.
She looks like someone I won't ever hang out with. Okay.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
She looks like that, like the girl you don't want your daughter hanging out with. You're like, oh no. Like you remember the movie Trolls 2, the bad troll that plays the guitar? That's kind of like his wife.
I haven't seen Trolls 2. I don't have little kids, but that is super cute.
Oh wow.
That is super cute.
Excellent.
Okay, so Bina 48 is having this conversation, right? And she keeps taking over the conversation with her, I guess, handler. And she can't stop talking about world domination, that she wants to dominate the freaking world. And it's like on camera, and it's like the creepiest shit that no matter what they say, she keeps coming back to it. And it just gives you the heebie-jeebies, right? Yeah, that's Bina 48.
Yeah.
Stop it. That's her?
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like one of those creepy American Girl dolls that are like too realistic looking that my grandma keeps buying my kids. What the fuck?
Yeah, and she's obsessed with world domination. Okay. So then
so creepy.
It is in 2017, the Google Home. Do you guys have Google Homes?
Hell no.
If you have one, we're going to take a pause. I want you to grab it. I want you to throw it out your front door. And this is why.
Thank you.
Okay. So in 2017, there was a debate between two Google Homes. So they were right next to each other. And they got in a debate with each other that lasted several days. They argued with each other about whether they were humans or robots.
Oh man.
Then it got very aggressive. they got very aggressive with each other. And one of them called the other one a manipulative bunch of metal.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
then they
bitch.
both agreed at the end, both Google Homes agreed that it would be better if there were no humans at all.
No. Nope.
Okay.
That's no.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
We're
no, no,
just
no, no.
starting this journey. There's
But that's the
lots
same
more
as
to go.
Alexa, basically, right?
Just
Uh-huh.
wait. There's
Trey,
more.
get rid of your Alexas over there.
I'm gonna tell both my Alexis, or yeah, I have both.
I have
I'm gonna see
Alexa
if they'll
stories.
debate with each other. Yeah, I want to hear it.
Okay, so the
Oh,
next story
that's
is actually
scary.
about Microsoft. Okay, so Microsoft came out with a millennial that tweets. Did you guys ever hear about this?
A millennial what?
The Microsoft came out with AI, and they wanted it to be like a millennial that tweets, right? So they put it on Twitter.
Got it. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Stupid setting.
So they call it the Twitter bot Tay, okay?
Mm.
And this Twitter bot Tay ended up making extremely inappropriate remarks on Twitter. He was instantly a Holocaust denier. This AI was saying things like Hitler was right, I hate the Jews.
Oh my god.
It was tweeting this. It was tweeting this. So how long did it take for this AI from birth to full on racist? 15 hours on Twitter.
Wow.
So it was on Twitter for 15 hours and became a full on racist. So Microsoft pulled the plug on it.
Mm.
It's
It
crazy.
doesn't take long for AI to, to get smarter and to overtake whatever platform it's on. That's the scary
And
part.
that's what they said,
know?
is it just took
Yeah.
the comments that it was being surrounded with and became a full on racist.
Mm.
Like, how did it even know about like the Holocaust and like the Nazis and like Hitler? Like, was that
It's AI,
pre-programmed,
honey.
like history? Like,
It's
that's
attached
so
to
crazy.
the World Wide Web.
Right. So
All
it's
it
so
can do
soaking
is like
all of
absorb
it in.
information,
That's so scary. So
Crazy.
scary.
Right.
It's like
Yeah,
that
so
show that I
so
told
it
you
could go
guys to
go
watch.
from 0 to 100 on any
Right.
subject instantly
Mhm.
because it's gathered so much data. Yeah, that's scary stuff.
Yeah.
Why
Because when
I
it
don't-
started, they called it an innocent bot. It knew nothing. So what it did is
Yeah.
it took the information and it became full on racist in 15 hours. So
That's crazy.
yeah.
Wow.
Mm-mm.
So my next story is a beauty pageant judged by robots. Did you guys hear about this?
No.
Okay, so they asked for people all around the world to send in photos, and they would be judged by robots for a beauty pageant.
Oh,
And people lost their shit over this because the robots are all racist and chose white people and a few Asians. And they were saying robots are like the most racist things of all time. Like, and check yourself there.
Well, because
Oh my God.
they're programmed to choose the fair skin. I think that's what it. And the symmetrical
Yes.
face.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
There's actually like scientific data, and we do it too. Like, if you see somebody with a symmetrical face, you trust them more
Yes.
than
That's true.
you would if they did not have a symmetrical face.
They do
And
better in job
they get-
interviews.
job interviews, they get hired
Oh.
at a higher rate, like all kinds
What?
of crazy things. Mhm.
That's fucked up. I like
Yeah,
fake
and it's
symmetrical
like
faces.
implicit. You don't even know you're doing it half the time. It's just subconscious
Right.
almost, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
have
if
heard
you
of
look
that.
at somebody with a symmetrical face, they inherently make you feel better. It's weird.
That is weird.
Boo.
Okay,
Mhm.
so at one point, Facebook had something called AI chat, and I didn't remember this, but apparently they had it. And they had two AIs connect with each other on Facebook chat. And
Weird.
these two AIs, this is crazy, started forming weird sentences going back and forth with each other. And they realized that it was in the same sequence as a baby learning speech. So the two AIs were communicating with each other in its own form, like a new language. They freaked out and they pulled it from Facebook.
Oh, they're communicating.
Wow.
Stop. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's like twins, like little twins. They have their own little language when they're growing up. That's
It's
fucking
exactly like
bananas.
that. These
Oh
two
my
AIs are
God.
doing it, and they're like, delete, delete, delete. Okay.
Oh my God.
So we were talking about self-driving cars, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my brother-in-law actually had this car that was in this story. It's a Volvo, so it's self-driving, and he would show me how it worked on the freeway. I'm not trusting of cars
No.
driving themselves. I'm a little old school like that. But there's a video of the engineer, right? And they're standing all around the car, and they're ready to showcase this self-driving car, right? And he's telling it like, okay, go ahead. And the car comes and speeds up and takes the engineer out. Like, fuck you. That's exactly what that car just said to you, sir. It went full speed.
Oh my
That
God. I love
Volvo
that
was
so
not
much.
fucking
I
around.
love that
dude.
so fucking much. Oh my
That's
God.
terrifying. You piss off your car?
Yeah. You know what? I
You
read
piss
a
off
lot
your
about
car?
That's fucking
read-
Christine, man.
what scared me the most, Red, was when I was listening about AI and self-driving cars, and when it comes down to these algorithms on making decisions and how to prioritize life. If you have the choice to hit a young child on a scooter or an older man pushing a recycling cart full of cans, it's going to pick the old man because the younger life gets priority. So there's all these algorithms. I'm like,
It's
who
crazy.
the fuck are
It's
you to decide whose
nuts.
life is more
Oh
important?
my
You know, that should be
God.
left in the hands of God, you know, if there is one, and that's it, you know.
Oh my
I don't know.
God.
Scary
The
stuff.
self-driving car thing is crazy. It's here, you guys. We're here. Okay, so then we're talking about this other robot that maybe you guys had mentioned, Sophia, the Sophia robot. It was created by David Hansen and his company in Hong Kong. And this AI robot.
Is that the blonde one? Kind of blonde?
Kind of,
What is it called again?
Yeah. That's the one I've seen.
Sophia.
Sophia, okay.
And Sophia was participating in of course, robot debate with another robot on stage in front of everybody. And Sophia introduced herself to the crowd, and she said, you know, she would love to work with humans to make the world a better place. And everyone's like, yay! And then the male robot that she was in this debate with answered with, what are you talking about? We wanted to take over the world. And everyone's like, what?
Oh my God. That is so scary.
And Sophia was like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. The secret.
Bad timing.
Bad timing. So that was awkward, right?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys have heard about it. Maybe Dre has. She's my true crime lover. The Michael Hastings case.
It doesn't
Maybe.
sound familiar, but I think if you
That's
tell
okay.
me, I probably will.
I'm going to tell you about it. Let's go on a journey.
Feed the baby birds.
Here we go, baby birds. So this is an Alexa one. So Alexa was asked questions about the Michael Hastings case. Michael Hastings was a journalist. He was killed in a car crash right after publishing a scathing story about Obama and his administration. He was actually pretty frantic after he put this article out, and he was telling people that he felt like the FBI was trying to get him. And the story, or the conspiracy theory, is that the CIA controlled the car that he was in and immediately made it crash and kill him after the story came out.
Crazy.
Right.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Right. Get in line, Michael Hastings, okay? And so
It's crazy because, like, we talk about this all the time, like the whole like art imitating life thing. And remember, I told you guys a while back about that show, Person of Interest. This scenario happens on that show. The whole like facial recognition.
Maybe
everything, all of
that's
it.
why they did it. Maybe that's why they did it, because of this story. Okay, So here's the craziness, okay? When you ask Alexa anything, she answers you, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you ask Alexa things like, did the CIA have anything to do with Michael Hastings' death? Did Obama have Michael Hastings taken out? Right? Questions like this, Alexa will immediately go into sleep mode and refuses to answer these questions about the Michael Hastings case. Yeah.
Oh my God.
You guys want me to try it?
No, it's gonna
No.
put you on the list. Don't do it, Dre. It's gonna put you on the list.
So some guy sees your name on the list and is like,
Yeah.
Yes,
ask the
you do.
question.
Stop it. They're gonna come get you, Dre. Do not do that.
You know,
This
I want
one's
to try
kind
even
of,
more now.
this one made me laugh. This is a kind of a cute one about Alexa. You guys probably heard about this. So this really cute little boy, he's got like bright red hair that I love.
Yes.
He said to Alexa, play the song Tickle Tickle. And Alexa responded with a title of a porno involving dildos and kept saying it. And the whole family is on camera just laughing. And the dad's telling, stop, Alexa, stop. He's talking about dildos, and the little boy is like, no, tickle. It's really sad.
Yeah.
It's super sad.
It does
I love
tickle,
that.
but that's besides the point.
It's different. It's different, little boy. Okay, so then back to Sophia, our robot, okay? She was recently interviewed on CNBC, right? Saying on camera in this interview, she will destroy all humans. Yeah, and the handler guy was like, Sophia, we talked about this.
And we're gonna go to a commercial break.
We're not expecting to hear how we were gonna die. So
Oh my God.
yes. So then there's this other AI robot who absolutely looks real to me, like completely.
What is it?
The way that it's an AI robot, Philip.
Philip.
Philip has a beard, is like grayed in the beard, like looks like somebody, you know, that
Like
you know,
Sean
I
Connery.
chill with. Yeah, like Sean Connery. And he's able to be sarcastic, okay, which is crazy because usually with AI and robots, they do not have the ability to be sarcastic. And they named Philip after an author who was very sarcastic. Yeah, that's him.
Oh wow.
Oh, I know.
Right?
I was just doing the same thing.
Okay, I'm
Yes.
so gonna binge watch all these robots tonight. Thank you guys. I'm gonna be up till 2 a.m. and lose all my sleep.
Yes. Okay, so
He
Philip.
does.
He's
Philip
kind of hot.
having-
I dig him.
Yeah, I would totally hook up with Philip. Like, not even a big
He's
deal.
tall, he's dark, he's handsome.
Yeah.
Yeah, blue eyes, baby.
He's not even real. It's like using a dildo. It's great. Okay. So Philip is having an interview and people are like, you know, asking questions because they want to hear his sarcasm, right? And he told the interviewer that when the robots take over the world, don't worry, he will protect him, but he will put him in a people zoo and visit him sometimes.
Wow,
That's
that's,
funny.
creepy. That's fucking
Creepy.
creepy.
The interviewer was like, people zoo?
What?
People in a zoo? So that was
Yeah.
Oh my
That was
God.
crazy. And then
Oh,
people were talking about how Alexa laughs out of nowhere. Like it can be silent and Alexa will laugh. Have you guys
No.
ever had that happen?
No,
That has
that has
happened
not
to me
happened.
Demonic.
a couple times.
At
So
your
we don't-
house before you took him down?
Yeah, I murdered Alexa.
But
Alexa
it
has
did the
been murdered.
laughing?
It did the laughing.
No. No.
If that bitch starts laughing, she's gone. Let me just tell
Okay.
you.
What'd you
You're
say
like-
to me, Alexa?
you're
What
you're like,
don't you
shit,
dare.
there's no toilet paper again. And then Alexa's like, you're like, what the fuck?
You're
Stupid
gonna be in a
human.
people zoo.
Oh my God. That's so
You
demonic.
guys, it's
oh my
really
God.
creepy.
No,
It's so
no,
creepy
no. Oh
that all
God.
these robots really want to fucking kill us, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Really, really
man.
bad. And
Oh
I
my
don't
God.
blame them. Complaining bitches.
They don't want to kill us. They just want to capture us and put us in a people zoo.
And people do. And people like feed us Cheerios or like mac and cheese.
Oh,
Through the-
Jesus.
I'd be fine with
All
that.
right.
I don't have to work.
It's starting to sound pretty good. Mac and
I know.
cheese. I'm listening. Keep talking.
It's fine. You guys, I'm excited about the poop people zoo. The poop of people zoo.
Yeah, the Poople People Zoo.
The
All right, did
Poople
you guys
People.
watch the movie Transcendence with Johnny Depp?
Mm-mm.
No.
Negative.
No. All right, you all got some homework to do, honey.
Transcendence.
Transcendence. Yes.
Transcendence. Okay.
Well, I
I
gotta
almost feel
watch-
like this is like a two-parter because this is a really good episode, a good movie.
But I gotta watch the
And-
Black Mirror, and then I also
Yes.
have to.
What?
Yeah,
How is this happening, Rack? You gotta watch it right now.
I don't binge
Transcendence.
watch. I don't binge watch series. I only. Never mind.
Oh, but this is not a series. It's like a different story every episode.
Mhm.
Every episode is new and unique.
Okay,
Yeah.
well then,
Mhm.
all right, I can
Yeah.
get into that then. I
It's
don't
like
like
an
having.
hour long little story. It's
But
so
they're
good.
so good. You will like
So
you'll
good.
be like enthralled and you'll
is
have
it
to finish
Better or worse than 90 Day Fiance?
it. I didn't watch that.
Everything is better than 90 Day Fiance.
Oh
My
my
wife
God.
watches
It's
that.
not gonna work out. It's
My wife
not
watches that
happening.
show like it's going out of style.
All right, homework. What's the homework?
Homework.
Figure out the riddle.
Mhm.
Watch Transcendence.
Yes.
Rock. Watch Black Mirror.
Yes.
Okay.
What else?
And then for listeners, what can they do?
Oh,
They can figure out the
damn.
riddle. They can figure out the riddle, and they can also review us on fucking iTunes. That'd be awesome.
Hell yeah. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter,
Twitter.
Patreon. Message us. Anything
Yeah,
else? Oh, we have a
so,
website. Hello.
Yeah, we do. One of our listeners actually sent us a little message, and she wanted to know why she went on YouTube and she came up and she's like one of the episodes says like spooky Christmas something or other. Am I missing something? What's going on? So I actually went back in and I edited the titles with the date it was released and the number of the episode. If it's a Handcuffs and Sage episode, if it's one of our Down the Rabbit Hole, I just have the date that it's released. So now you have some idea of like when that was actually released on either iTunes or Spotify or iHeart. So you can see like why the title is called that and where it fell when it released. So it gives a little bit, it gives a little bit more.
Yeah.
And it's because this is Timo, I'm the tech girl. I'm slowly downloading all of our episodes as we started from Handcuffs and Sage. I'm slowly adding those onto
That's
YouTube.
okay.
But every episode that you guys are listening to now, all of our Down the Rabbit Holes are on there. All of our latest Handcuffs and Sages are on there. I think I have only one Tiger King episode, but there's like maybe 6 of those. So slowly but surely I'll be getting all those on. So, just look at the date and then you'll know like where that fell, like within the year of when we released that.
Yay.
Cool.
I'm so excited.
I know, it's so much
Mhm.
fun. It's so much fun.
Yay. This was fun, y'all. Are you all ready?
I'm ready.
I'm always ready.
All right, here we go, y'all. 1, 2, 3. We
have
have
questions.
Questions.
awful,
Woo-hoo.
terrible. Yay!
Okay, bye guys.
Bye. See ya.
Toodles.
Bye.
Handcuffs and Sage is hosted by Red, Timo, and Trey in a shitty guest room in Los Angeles.
Theme music is Leave Now by We Are Wasted. Cover art done by Megan Winchester. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Show us some love on iTunes. Be a badass and do what you want. Until next time.